Why does the Quran mention men more times than women? If you're talking about when there's a address to the believers, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, it applies to both. Um, and then some of the addresses, so it's not amanu wa amanna, because amanu, it applies to both genders, right? In the Arabic language, some languages are gender neutral in certain aspects, and I could say, "Oh people," right, or believers, and that's gender neutral in English, but in Arabic it isn't. So there's a default gender that's used in speech, and which is a masculine gender, but it's not. There's none of these 20th century and 21st century issues about masculinity, femininity, and feminism. None of that is in there. It's just a default gender, and that's used, right? So therefore, that's why people bring up this issue about God. Does he have a gender? No, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have a gender. So why do you use the masculine? Because that's the default in the Arabic language, right? And that's the way the language is. So, and then there were other verses that did come, I think, was it Salama? One of the ladies of the Ansar asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just mentions the men? And then the verses started coming, Innal Muslimina wal Muslimati wal Mu'minina wal Mu'minat, the believing men and the believing women, and the submitting men, the Muslim men and the Muslim women. So there's that address. But as for are men just in general mentioned more times than women in another form? I'm not aware of this in the Quran, and Allah knows best. Perhaps He could provide some clarification.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.